7.5? All right. Consideration of the first, yes, okay. Consideration of the First Amendment to Commercial Lease Agreement between the County of Lake and Lakeport Plaza LLC for office space at 55 First Street, Lakeport, California. Public Defender, Director Ray Winnemantura.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the board, for having me up here by Zoom today. I hope you got my email. I have had a COVID outbreak with my staff. 4 members of my office have been infected, so I didn't want to take a chance in coming to your meeting. But I want to thank you, Mr. Chair, for putting this item on your agenda. I want you to know that I don't take this lightly. In fact, this is a serious concern to me, serious enough that I'm asking for you to consider this item yet again. It was clear to me at the last meeting, and you spoke very clear, and I understand your clear direction was that you were not interested in spending a lot of money on this request for our transition to the second floor. Again, we are both on the second floor and the third floor of this building. The third floor is occupied solely by my administrative staff, which consists of at least 4 people. So the request is to move all of them, and actually there's going to be an accountant, so that's 5, down to the second floor. And I thought it would be helpful if I showed you a graphic and as well as a video of my request. But before I do that, I want you to just understand what I've done since our last meeting. So after I got clear direction from you and an understanding of where the board's concern was, I went back and I started to renegotiate with the property manager at my building. The result is that we were able to obtain what I think is a substantially changed proposal. The initial proposal called for an increase in the rent. This new proposal has absolutely no increase in the rent. The initial proposal asked for a remodel to the amount of at least $10,000 in remodeling to accommodate the transition. This new proposal has no request for a remodel. So about the only thing that still cost slightly is the transition time period. The old proposal asked for a 3-month transition period. This new proposal only asks for 1 month. And I presented this to the Space Committee and got what I think was a positive response. Shane French was also there, and he believes that the transition of a month, probably less actually now, can take place. And in fact, they were looking at starting to try to do something today in terms of the IT setup. So again, no increase in rent, no remodel, and a 1-month transition period. Now I'm going to share with you
real quick. I know you want to share the presentation, but I know that Vice Chair was attending. It was in attendance at the.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think if it's okay, we might just get your input from it, and if everyone's okay with it, I mean, I think we understand the realm of it. We may not need to go through the presentation from that point, if that makes sense. So,
yes.
Vice Chair, go ahead.
Yeah, so at the Space Committee, this was discussed, and I support this new plan because we're not going to be remodeling, and it's only going to cost $1,700 for that 30 days to move out. I do believe that it's valuable to have all the people in the same building, so that's really where it stands, and the Space Committee can work with that, or they were okay with that.
Supervisor,
Supervisor Pyska wasn't there, but.
I wasn't at the meeting, but I did get briefed, and I'm okay with going forward with this too.
Supervisor Owen?
I thought in your notes it stated that it would be $18,677 for that transition month would be the amount that would be paid, which is an increase of $4,057.90 for that 1 month. To move 4 people, it just doesn't seem like, I mean, that's something that realistically, a couple of good guys could probably do in a couple of hours, I would think. So a full month to make that transition just seems like a lot. And 3 months was just over the top in my mind. I have one more question. I know that we're paying $9,903.60 rent per month for your current space. There's an additional base fee of $4,716. What does that entail exactly? Because you're already paying rent, I mean, a really high rent. And then we are paying an additional base fee of over $4,700 a month. Can you tell me what that includes? Does that include the power, just everything?
If I could defer that to either Stephen or Matthew, because they were involved in that negotiation.
Thank you.
In the meantime, Supervisor Sabatier?
I know in last week's memo, it mentioned and pays for sewer, water, electricity, like all those things. So I think that was detailed in our last memo. Somebody please correct me, but that's what I read.
I remembered the power.
Yeah.
I mean, not the power, I remembered the garbage.
So if just to state my opinion, I thought I heard a different direction from the board, which was we have a lot of moving parts. We have a lot of discussions. I felt slightly awkward that this was back on the agenda. I understand the needs, but we also have other folks who have needs who are patiently waiting as well. It's also slightly like I guess I want to question every agreement now that comes before me. Can we get a better deal? Because it looks like if we say no, there's the possibility of a better deal tomorrow. That also is concerning me. And so at this moment in time, I feel direction was clear. We have a lot of moving parts. We have a lot of potential changes that are coming up in the near future. We want everyone to be patient. I'm going to stand on that same position as I did last week, that I thought the board had provided. Our answer was not no, maybe. Our answer was, at this moment in time, this is not in the best interest to move forward. And I still feel the same way.
So
Vice Chair, go ahead.
I'm confused now, Mr. Buenaventura, because I thought when I asked this question at the Space Committee, I thought we were looking at a $1,700 cost increase based on the 1 month to move. That's my recollection coming out of the Space Committee, that our only cost was $1,700 addition to what we were paying. But now it looks like that could be higher. Am I confused about something between the
Yes.
base rate and the flat rate?
Oh, so when I did my calculation, it amounted to $1,700. But then when I read the memo that was later composed and revised, it did include the flat rate and the other costs associated fees. I'm not really sure how that was calculated. That's why I was going to ask. Because after I left the Space Committee meeting, my impression was there was going to be further discussion, and perhaps that additional cost was factored in when the memo was revised.
Okay, because I think the Space Committee was under the understanding we were talking about $1,700. When that meeting closed that day, I left there because I believe I asked a question just confirming we're looking at $1,700 total cost to us for this 30 days. And I think that's what was on the table at the Space Committee. So if that's not the amount, then the other folks on the committee don't know that.
All right, Stephen, if you want to, I don't know if he's, okay, Stephen, if you can help with this.
So I don't have all the data right in front of me, but $1,700 would have been the rent itself. That would not include the dollar per square foot, which would be in addition for that 1 month for the third floor, which does, oh, I just lost it. Includes operating expenses, incomes, electricity, sewer, trash, disposal, water services, elevator service, heating, ventilation and air conditioning, maintenance, pest control, so landscaping. So all the things that we would do for one of our own buildings and would have to pay for likely anyways. But that would be on top of the $1,700 for that third floor for the 1 month would be the $1 a square foot, which makes it about $4,000.
So that's the total increase to us
It's
around,
1 month of the third floor, yeah.
around $4,000.
$4,057.90.
You know, one other thing,
That is correct, by the way, her number.
one other thing I would note though is, yes, to Supervisor Sabatier's comment, I thought, you know, we had direction, we're going to get a report back as well on some of these moving parts, but I think there's no question that we're looking at a minimum of 2 years from today to get them into a county building with all the issues going on. So if I'd be okay with the $4,000 to get them in the same office for the next 2 years at this point. I wasn't in favor of this before with all those additional costs, but that's where I stand.
Supervisor Owen?
Oops, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else, I'll open it up to the public if there's anyone that has a comment on this. I'll bring it back to the board. I was in favor of it last time. I understand how important it is for this department to succeed. I'm glad that we were able to come back and look at another avenue. So what I mean by that is, I don't want to kill the momentum of where we're going. I've been in a couple of court sessions and watched some of the folks work, and I just know that in a more efficient work set, I think it would help tremendously for this department to succeed. So I'm good with this.
If there's nothing further, I'll move to approve the First Amendment to commercial lease agreement between the County of Lake and Lakeport Plaza LLC for office space at 55 First Street, Lakeport.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries 3-2.